Before moving into my van, I used to pay rent. I lived on the 28th floor of an apartment building with a great view. The only good memory I have there was the day I moved in because it was brand new and it was exciting. Now I still kind of have to pay rent. I got two expenses that leave my account every month: vehicle insurance and fuel. The difference now is these memories will last a lifetime. That reminds me of the old day job I used to have. All that steam there coming out of those dry kilns. I used to work for a chemical manufacturer and we did steam treatment for steam boilers. That was my job. I used to drive around every day in a van, much like the one I live in now, and test the water inside of the steam boilers to make sure that the chemicals were good. Yeah, kind of anti-corrosion sort of stuff. There's a deer just running down the side of the road up here. We were just driving down a back road and I was following it, having no idea where it was going, and it popped out right here into Princeton BC. I had no idea where that was going. Princeton's a pretty small little town. It's dirty out here though. Look at the ground. It's probably from all the snow they got and all the sand and gravel they've been throwing down. It's a dusty one. This lifestyle can be as cheap as you want or as expensive as you want. The cool thing is you have a little bit more control over how much money you spend every single month on rent. If you want to be budget conscious, all you gotta do is slow down a little. Stop spending time in the cities and paying parking meters, and stop paying for paid campsites. Hey, look at those weirdos. Hey-o! I was out in the next town over when I get a phone call from Ed and Colleen. They've been in videos before. My friends from Manitoba, they're like, hey man, are you still in that little town of Karameas? I'm like, no man, I already left. He's like, oh crap, because that's where we are. I'm like, no way. They seen on Patreon that I was close, so they came out here hunting for me and Cruzy Bear, and well, we found each other. And if you want to save money, you can just have wieners for lunch. Wieners and potato chips and beer. I don't know if that's cheap, but anyway, Ed and Colleen, thanks for inviting me out for wieners. That didn't sound right. Anyway, guys, back to the story. I would rather spend all the money I have and put it into creating memories in my life, like parking my home here right by the river. And having a view like this is a memory that I will have for the rest of my life. Everything that I do now, every penny that I spend in my life is creating memories. I'm learning new things every single day and life is forever changing. I would rather pay this than pay rent in a place that doesn't do anything for me. I don't have any memories in my old apartment. I would rather be living down here being super happy because you know what? Living in a van down by the river ain't that bad. Look at my hair, man. Something I've been doing a lot lately is wearing beanies. I've never been one to wear anything on my head ever in my life, but lately, I don't know. I got that beanie from Ray Outfitted and I started to wear that when the weather got cold, and then I started to realize that I like wearing beanies. You know, it just keeps everything all good and warm. So then I ran into new friends of ours. I don't forget where the logo is on here. They're called MC Ranch Overland. They sell a really cool product I'll show you guys pretty soon. It's in my rooftop carrier right now. Yeah, but I've been wearing their beanie for the last few days. Maybe beanies will be my new thing. I don't know. They're cozy. That's all that matters. Okay, chilly morning outside of this morning. We are back in Karamias. We slept on the side of the road. I must have slept hard because there's a semi-truck right beside me and I didn't hear it pull in, and my side window was open all night last night. We got the heat on full this morning, warming up the big beast. Ah! And there's Mr. Cruzy Bear. Mr. Cruzy. Morning, pal. Morning, buddy. Are you snug and warm down there? Keeping my feet warm every night, buddy. I didn't hear that guy drive in. We slept right across the street from a gas station that I've been getting gas at quite a bit since I've been out here in Karamias. Yeah, man, we slept good last night. I'm really digging this area. It's arid and dry. All the mountains are literally just ginormous rocks with barely any trees on them. All the shrubs out here are just tiny little dried up little shrubs all over the place. It's a wild zone up here, man. Anytime you hit areas like this in BC, so BC has 2 dry valleys like this. And they're not little valleys, they're giant valleys with multiple towns, and they span hundreds of kilometers. It's kind of weird to have a desert sort of area in a place that's very much known for its rainforests and stuff. But that's what makes traveling through BC so wild, is that you can literally drive a couple hours and you'll be in a completely different, you feel like you're in, like you've driven to like, I don't know, I've never been to Arizona, but you feel, that's what it feels like. It feels like you just drove into a desert somewhere. Kind of like feels like you drove into like the wild, wild west. Come on now. Anyway, we're gonna go get ourselves a coffee right there. I slept good over there.
That on the phone last night, I didn't hear you.
No, yeah, one was there when I pulled in, and then I woke up and he was here this morning. I laugh at that when you go to a place like that, and you get up and you're like, how did I not hear that giant truck pull in beside me this morning? There's the coffee. Coffee and is that a Danish? Heck yeah, boy. I even told the guy in there. I mean, that's his business. I even told the guy in there that, hey, I slept good across the street from you last night. He didn't say anything. People don't care, you guys. I'm not hurting anybody over here. I just had a good night's sleep. It's 6 a.m. and we're hitting the road. Karamias, minus 6 degrees Celsius. Let's see what it is in Vancouver right now. Plus 2 degrees Celsius. This is why people spend more time on the West Coast versus just a few hours inland here in Karamias. Minus 6. Yeah, it's a little bit chilly, but the weather this week looks pretty darn good up here. That's weird. Out of nowhere, all my gauges just started to work again. Yeah, can I get an extra large coffee regular, a 10-pack of assorted Timbits,
okay,
and a cinnamon raisin bagel double toasted extra butter?
Anything else?
No, that's everything.
$6.35.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I haven't had a Tim Hortons in a little bit. That's the problem about being out in some of those areas is they don't have the drive-thrus. Not like I need it. I'm gaining enough weight lately, but sometimes a coffee and a bagel is just woo. Cruzy, I ordered some Timbits. You want some Timbits? There's a big train. What is that, bro? Big train. little side street here behind the grocery store is where we're making home tonight. Is that it? You're done? You're done for the day? You done? Did you have a big day at Grandma's? Yeah, buddy, you did. You had a big day at Grandma's. We are back in the Vancouver area, and as you can tell in today's video, we put a lot of kilometers on our van to produce these videos. We're always on the move all the time, just making crazy things and finding crazy things to film. Some happened today though. I thought for sure that my fuel bill was going to be way higher than it actually is. Let me show you something. My van has 289,000 kilometers on it right now. When I bought my van, it had 165,000 kilometers on it. So since I purchased it, we've put on 124,000 kilometers. How many months since September 11th, 2017?
It was 42 months ago.
So we've put on 124,000 kilometers in 42 months. Divide that by 42 months. So on average, we've put on 2,952 kilometers a month. That seems like a pretty high number. But let me show you something. On average, I spend between 16 cents and 25 cents per kilometer. So how I figure that out is when I get fuel, I always divide, just say I put $50 in my gas tank. And then I look on my speedometer thing and it shows that I've put on 200 kilometers. So I divide it by 200 and it tells me I spent 25 cents per kilometer to do that drive that I just recently did. And it just seems that's the way I do it. I just find it easier to do that way. I can't figure out the miles per gallon thing. My head doesn't work that way. So let's take a look at this. So let's say I did 25 cents per kilometer times 124,000 kilometers over the last 3 years. That's $31,000 we've spent on fuel in 42 months. Seems like a lot, but hold on. Divided by 42 months. That means we've put on average, $738 every month. That's not that bad considering what we do on this channel on a daily basis. All the running around that we do, we drive a lot. To run my YouTube business, I'm spending $738 a month on fuel. Now, could you imagine if I wasn't doing YouTube and I was just living my average van life and I drove half the amount of time, which is still a lot of driving. And I drove half the amount of time, which means, say, 1,500 kilometers a month. My fuel bill would be what? $350? Whatever, something like that. That's a far cry from spending $1,300 a month on rent, plus the parking spot, plus everything else. So think about this. All this crazy running around we do every single day on this channel, every day, I'm still paying half of what I would have paid to rent. And I'm living 10 times the life I would have before. So if anybody tells you, and I've told you before that, oh, don't take fuel advice from me because I drive a ridiculous amount and it's not going to be what you guys are going to do. Think about that, guys. $738 a month in fuel ain't that bad. I don't know. Figure out how many kilometers you guys drive per month now in your current life and calculate that out. If you don't do the miles per gallon sort of thing like I don't do, just do what I said. So fill up your gas tank as full as it'll go, reset your speedometer counter or your odometer. It's odometer. Reset that counter, do your daily drive, and then when you go fill up next, just divide how many kilometers you drove into how much money you spent, and you'll know how much you spent per kilometer or per mile if you're in the US or whatever calculations you guys use. Yeah, that's my simple little, it works for me. But anyway, guys, I thought this might have been a cool way to end a video because all we did in this video was drive. Anyway, we're back in the Vancouver area. I popped in to see my mom on the way through because she's home from the hospital. It was nice to see her. Her front room looks like a hospital, mind you. She's got a hospital bed where her couch used to be, and oxygen tanks and hoses, and yeah, she's got kidney issues and she's dealing with diabetes and a bunch of other things. So, but she's back at home and she has caretakers that are coming in 4 times per day to make sure she eats, and she's settled in for bed and stuff, which is pretty darn cool. Anyway, you guys, thanks for watching today. Hopefully this answers some of your questions about, hey Crow, how much money you spend on fuel? Well, now you know. I've been living in this van 42 months, and I would rather spend $738 a month in fuel and poop in a pail every day than to go back to a porcelain toilet and $1,300 a month for rent. At least in this lifestyle, I'm having fun. The other one, well, it was normal. And normal, well, normal sucks.